Welcome back to our nutrition and food substance series. Number 23. We stop at 22, the last question, the last video. A mixture of mercurous and mercuric nitrate is added to a food substance. Then they give you options. Now let's write down. Millions reagents is used to test for protein, and it contains mercurous and mercuric nitrate. It contains mercurous and mercuric nitrate. When testing, heating is required, which would give a deep red coloration. That's number one. Give one line. Number two. Biuret test. Biuret test or biuret solution is also used to test for protein. No heating is required. It gives a violet or purple coloration for protein. It gives a pink coloration for peptones. Peptones is Peptone. And it is made up of caustic soda and copper 2 sulfate. CMO, I say millions reagent contains mercurous and mercuric acid, while biuret contains caustic soda, which is NaOH, and copper sulfate. No forget to next give one line and write. Test for sugar. Feline solution could be used to test. Feline solution is used to test for sugar. It contains copper 2 sulfate or sodium potassium tetrate and sodium hydroxide. So feline solution contains copper 2 sulfate. There's feline solution A and there's feline solution B. The feline solution A is the one that contains copper 2 sulfate, while feline solution B contains sodium potassium tetrate and sodium hydroxide. It requires heating. We've talked about it before. We use it to test for sugar, right? Sucrose, glucose, and fructose. Next, Benedict solution, like the person name, Benedict solution. It requires heating, and it contains copper 2 sulfate, sodium cerate, and sodium carbonate. Next, test for starch. Go down and write. Iodine solution is added. No heating is needed, and it produces a blue-black coloration. Next, that's the major test for starch. Next, test for fat and oil. Number one, translucency test. Translucency is spelled TRANSLUCENCY. Translucency test. Translucency paper test. That's the complete one. Translucency paper test. Next line, right? Sudan 2 solution. And lastly, osmic acid. Now, under that Sudan 3 solution, right, it produces a distinct coloration. So when they say something, they tested for something and it produces a distinct coloration. Now, fat and oil they talk about. Next, osmic acid produces a black precipitate on boiling. So if we go back to 23, a mixture of mercurous and mercuric. This is millions reagent, and millions reagent is used to test for protein. 23 is option A. Let's not waste time there. 24, in a biuret test, don't forget biuret also is used to test for protein. See, millions and biuret test for protein. Felix and Benedict test for sugar, while iodine test for starch, while translucency test, osmic acid, Sudan 3, they all test for fat and oil. Do not forget to keep that one in your mind. So more go. In a biuret test, some protein was mixed with sodium hydroxide solution. Which of the following chemicals should be added to the mixture? Check your notes. I made mention of this just now. We said sodium hydroxide and option B, copper sulfate. 9 form biuret test. Number 24 is option B. 25, Feline solution. Feline is the test for sugar. We readily change color from blue to reddish coloration when it is mixed with 25, when it is mixed with or warm with a solution of reducing sugar. Option E. When they say warm here, they means that you must have added that sugar first to and added acid to that sugar, hydrochloric acid in this case. The reducing sugar here is the sucrose, option E. 26. A food substance which produces red coloration with Sudan 3 test. Sudan 3, no forget to fat and oil. Not some student will pick starch. No, starch is iodine. Number 26, option E, fat. Number 27, I think will become fast now. If calcium is deficient in food, this may lead to retarded growth. 27 is option B, because calcium, right? Calcium is necessary for bone and teeth formation. Calcium is necessary for bone and teeth formation. Calcium is necessary for bone and teeth formation. Let's take down some points down. Sodium is necessary for acid-base balance and osmoregulation of the blood. Acid-base balance and osmoregulation of the blood. Next, potassium is responsible for intracellular fluid. Next, chlorine is responsible for acid-base balance and also for digestion. Number 4, iron is necessary for formation of hemoglobin and other other respiratory enzymes. Next, phosphorus is responsible for metabolic activities, component of the bones and teeth. Next, magnesium is responsible to activate glycolysis and also component of the bone. And lastly, iodine is responsible for thyroid function. So when they say number 27, calcium, retarded growth, because it is responsible for teeth and bone. 28, a young plant showing yellow leaves is likely to be deficient in magnesium. Right, let's write please. Deficiency of nitrogen, sulfur, iron and magnesium could lead to yellowing of leaves. So go down and write deficiency symptoms in plants. Nitrogen leads to yellowing of leaves and stunted growth. Calcium leads to weak, stunted growth and poor root development. Phosphorus leads to purplish or reddish leaf. Molting of lower leaves. Molting is mottling, poor weeding growth. Magnesium leads to yellowing of leaves, poor growth. Iron leads to yellowing of leaves also and poor growth. Potassium leads to poor growth and also brownish leaf. And lastly, sulfur leads to slender stem and yellowing of leaves. So literally almost all of them leads to yellowing of leaves. So this one will pick magnesium. 28 is option B. 29, oxygen liberated during photosynthesis, we don't touch this one before, it's gotten from water, has been demonstrated to have come from. 29 is option C. You know, hard, it's simple. 29 is water. 30, which of these is a trace element? This question is ambiguous. Trace element in what? Plant or animal? So in this case, we would see it as we are talking about plant. So copper, option B. Number 31, the main organic substance found in human body are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. But in this case, they are talking about substances, not elements. So carbohydrate, protein, fat, carbohydrate, and protein. Let's see. Number 31 is option C, fat, carbohydrate, and protein, option C. 32, which of the following elements is essential for formation of hemoglobin? Don't forget iron. 32, now option D. Iron is very necessary. 33, the severe deficiency of vitamin C. Vitamin C leads to 33, it leads to scurvy. 33 leads to scurvy. I gave deficiency already for that vitamins. 34, in addition to a high calories derived from fat and oil, they are used to do what? As insulators from coal. 34, insulators from coal. Right. Functions of food substances. Number 1, mineral salts or vitamins helps to maintain health. Next, water serves as a medium of metabolism and also to maintain osmotic pressure. Number 3, protein helps to repair and build worn-out tissue. Number 5, carbohydrate helps for immediate and short-term sources of energy and also making of exoskeleton in arthropods. Next, fat and oil serves as long-term energy store and insulation against cold. So you see why we pick option C. 35, the extract from a food substance reacting with sodium hydroxide and copper. This thing they tell me say na biored test for protein. And copper solution will produce a violet to purple coloration if protein is present. 35 is option C, biored test if protein is present.